it's Sarah, and today we are going to get started on Empire Storms. So this is going to be my reading vlog for this book. This is book number 5 in the Throne of Glass series, and I am doing reading vlogs on all of these books as I read through the series, and they are all spoilery, so this will be full of spoilers. For this one, I will talk in detail about the characters and what's happening and my feelings and all that stuff. So if you have not read this series, this is not the video for you, unless you don't plan on reading it and you just want to get it from me, that's totally fine. But I'm very excited to read this one. So this is a long one. This is 670 something pages, I think. Let me get an actual count here for you. But I'm reading this with Lindsay over at Lindsay's Little Library. We're going to buddy read it together. 689 pages. So chunka-munka, big one, but we're home. So perfect excuse to, you know, knock out a really, really big book. And I have tabbed it out. I have little mermaid tail tabs. How cute are those? My husband got those for me. Aren't they adorable? So we tabbed it out to read about 75-ish pages a day or so, and we're going to see how that goes. But I think that's going to be kind of a good pace because I do have other books to read at the same time. But I'm very excited to get back to this. Okay, so I went last night and watched my Queen of Shadows vlog, which is book 4. And I'm really glad I did that because I forgot a lot of the details and I included those in the vlog. So I remembered that the king died. I forgot about the glass castle shattering. That's kind of a big thing. And I remember when I watched myself reading that part, or when I talked about it, I remember, oh yeah, that's right. I kind of like did a little fist pump. And I was just kind of remembering like what happened to Kale and why. So I'm really glad that I went back and watched that and kind of refreshed myself because I read that back in October. So it's been a minute and I'm like, some of the details are just fuzzy. So, but now I remember and I'm ready to move on. And I'm going to show you who I have fan casted in this series so far. I will show you the main characters that I know for sure are going to be in this book, which are Aelin, which is our main character, formerly Selena, now her name is Aelin, Rowan, Manon, Lysandra, and Adian. So those are the 5 for sure I know are going to be in this book. So if any other characters pop up that kind of play a major role, I will fan cast them and I'll let you know along the way. But I know that those are the characters that are really going to be focused on here in this book, and we're going to be following them and stuff. So I remember at the end of Queen of Shadows, Aelin and Rowan are heading to Terrasen because she's going to take her throne as queen there. And Dorian, oh my gosh, did I not say Dorian? What's wrong with me? He's my favorite character. Dorian is now king of Adarlan, so he's, that's going to be awesome. And I love Dorian. Like I said, he's my favorite character, so I'm excited to see what's going to go on with him. That's where Queen of Shadows left off, so I'm going to get started on Empire Storms. I'll let you know along the way how I'm feeling and kind of update you as I go, and I'm really excited about it. So we are going to get started. Again, spoilers all over the place, so you have been warned. There's going to be spoilers everywhere, and I hope you enjoy my reading process. Okay, guys, I am about 75 pages into this one, and we started off with a prologue. So the prologue goes back to, what are their names? Gavin and I can never remember the female's name. Elena. I don't know why I can never remember that, but Gavin and Elena. And it shows them in the middle of war, and I think kind of how they're planning to defeat whoever they're fighting. I can't even fully remember. I don't remember if it was the Valg. I don't think so. Erewhon. Oh my gosh. Like I just read that part yesterday. Erewhon, who has made a comeback. Erewhon is back. He did come back in the last book as well, and he took over the body of Duke Parrington. So it started out with that and kind of like a little bit of a glimpse into the past on how, you know, some of this was started. So that was interesting. And then it goes back to like present day, and Aelin and, let's see, Aelin, Lysandra, Rowan, Adian, Evangeline, who's a little girl that's with them. They are all traveling together, and they are planning to meet up with some lords of Terrasen to kind of let Aelin stake her claim as queen. However, when they do meet these lords, one of them is pretty much against her taking over as queen, and has a couple of people on his side as well. So it's almost like he was saying, you don't just get the throne because of who you are. You have to actually be like voted in and stuff. So she's meeting those challenges right now, which will be interesting. So that's where we are. So the first, 75 pages were very political more than anything. No real action or anything like that. But you can see the bond that's happening between Aelin and Rowan. Finally, they're at least making out. Yeah, so that is kind of where we are right now. And they are planning to go down to Rifthold to help Dorian, because there is an attack that is being started from the witches, which is really interesting. So like Manon and the witch clans and everything are traveling down to try to take over Rifthold and take it from Dorian. Dorian is king now, and yeah, so that's going to be very interesting as well. And then Manon and her grandmother are basically working for Erewhon right now. Erewhon has taken over a new body, and he is giving them instruction on what to do. But you can tell Manon doesn't trust him at all, and I have a feeling Manon's going to go off on her own and do her own thing. But she is heading down to Rifthold to try to take it from Dorian. But I think she's going to end up protecting him in the end, because they said take him dead or alive. So I think she's either going to end up helping him or she's going to save him or something. Like, I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. And then Aelin got word of it, and she sent Rowan down there to help. So, to make sure that Dorian's okay and help any way that he can, because they need Dorian alive. So that's where we are right now. That's literally where I left off. I'm about to start chapter 6, and it's Dorian. So we'll see what's going on with him. And yeah, so good so far. Also, I forgot to tell you guys, there is a character that has been mentioned just now that they are going to turn to for some help. And he is a character that was in the Assassin's Blade. He was the pirate that she ran into. And he's going to possibly be helping them, or, whatever. So he was mentioned. So I imagine him coming to help or being in this book. And I pictured him as Colin O'Donoghue. Yes, please. So he's going to be coming back. Thank you very much. All right, I'll be looking forward to seeing him again. But yeah, so I'm going to keep reading, and then I will update you again here soon. Okay, guys. It's the end of the day, and I'm a little beat. It's been a day, but I'm reading, and just hit page 165, the end of chapter 17, and I exclaimed out loud. I did. Okay, so here's what's happening. Aelin and Adian and Lysandra are in Terrasen, and she's taken back a temple that belongs to her as her right as queen. And then she confronts or is approached by Erwin there. And that was very interesting. And Erwin really showed his power that he has, that he can have over her. So that was interesting. Dorian and Rowan are sailing to the southern border, I believe, is where they're heading to right now. But Erwin has said he knows where they are and they're being tracked. So he's pretty much threatening them. Manon. The end of chapter 17 was when it was Manon. Manon saved Dorian at his castle. He helped him escape, basically. Rowan got him out of there, but Manon took steps to get him to safety as well. One of those steps was to kill another witch. And so now the witch covens are demanding blood for blood. You took a life, we're going to take one of yours. So it was ordered that her second in command is the one to pay the price for that, and they were going to have her executed. It didn't quite go down that way, though. Manon went to the ceremony and asked for the right to be the one to do it. It was granted, and she took her sword and she turned around and drew it on her grandmother. That's how the chapter ended. It said she brought it down upon her grandmother, and I was like, what? Yes. So, yeah, I am so excited to keep on going because the next chapter picks up right there. So, yeah, so hitting some good action-y type things right now, and I am excited to keep going. So, yeah, love, enjoying. And now that we're really starting to get into some good action scenes, it's probably going to go a little bit faster. I've been a little bit distracted here the past couple days, but it's fine. So I'm going to sit here and read the rest of my pages for today. I have about 60 more pages to read today. So I'm going to sit here and do that. And luckily I just drank a little bit of caffeine so I can stay up or stay alert. I'll be up, but I can stay a little bit alert so I can get these pages done. So, yeah, it's been a day. It's been a Monday, and today is Monday. So, yeah. Okay, but I'm going to keep on going, but that was kind of my first big, moment. Hey, guys. Okay. I am, am I halfway through now? Just about, yeah. Almost halfway through, if not maybe even a little bit more. All right, it's been a roller coaster with this one. All I want to do is read this book, and just, it seems like everything is happening to prevent that, but I'm determined. So, oh my gosh, so much has happened. I can't even remember what I was able to update you on last time, but kind of the big things that have happened are that Aelin and Lysandra and Adian are in Skulls Bay, and they're talking to Rolf and trying to form an alliance with him, basically. And it's so interesting because Aelin really put Rolf in an impossible situation. She really did. She played some cards against him that were very smart. And they realized that Skulls Bay was a target for Moranth, which is where all the Valg people are fighting from, and Doranel, which is where Maeve is from, where Rowan came from and everything. She has aligned with Erewhon, so she's helping him fight basically and try to take over these lands. So they know that Skulls Bay is vulnerable to that, and they got hit. They got attacked, and so they fought back, and Aelin was there and fought with them. Now, this battle was so cool because Lysandra turns into a sea dragon. What? It was so cool. She is one of my favorites now. She's one of my favorite characters, and I hated her in Assassin's Blade, but now she's one of my favorites. So she's a character that did a turnaround big time. She was so cool. Oh, she was awesome. there's something happening between her and Adian. You're seeing Adian develop feelings for her. I think the feelings are probably going to be mutual. So that's kind of something that's starting. And so they won this battle. It wasn't easy, but they did. Aelin and Rowan combined their magic and, you know, almost killed everybody with it because Aelin lost herself. And so they won the battle, right? Lysandra is trying to recover right now because she got hurt really badly. She almost died in the battle, but she's, I think, trying to recover right now. I haven't seen her since she kind of washed up. But Aelin and Rowan on the beach. I just finished that chapter finally. I have been waiting for these two for 2 books, and finally it happened. So yes, very, very happy about that. It was really good. Sarah J. Maas can write some steamy scenes. Like I'm in it for that. It's good. Okay, so I'm going to continue on here and keep going, but so far I'm absolutely loving it. I love the series. Every time I read a book, I'm so in and I love it so much. So yeah, the writing, sometimes there'll be lines that I'm like, okay, it's kind of cheesy, but I don't care. Like the story makes up for all that. Doesn't bother me at all. So yeah, that is going to be it for me for right now. So I'm going to keep on going and I will update you again in a little bit. Hi. It's been a few days, quite a few days. I have read much more, and I'm about on page 550, I think, right around, 548. So much has happened. So much has happened. All right, I'm going to have to kind of go along with like the storylines that we're following, basically. So let's see. When I last updated you, Aelin had just been part of the attack that happened on Skulls Bay, where Lysandra got hurt and, all that stuff, and she turned into a sea dragon. It was one of the coolest scenes so far of the series. It was so cool. And so they made it through that. Adian has basically declared his love for Lysandra, which I love. I love that little budding thing happening. So we're going to wait on that one now. And okay, so they made it through that. They have now left Skulls Bay, and they are trying to head, where are they going? Elway. They're trying to go to Elway. So that's they're on their path right now. But Elway, they discover, has basically been burned to the ground by Erewhon. So they're trying to kind of figure out where they're going to go from here. They end up in this kind of marshy area, and they end up getting attacked by the Ilkin that are coming. Like there's like 500 Ilkin coming for them. And in that little scene there where they get attacked by these things was so cool, because Aelin was able to really show her power and how strong it is. Oh my gosh. And I love those scenes where she, it really shows how powerful she is. It really does. And there's no question that she has a lot of power in her body. And that's why it's so hard for her to control it. And it's hard for her to, it's easy for her to lose control of it because it's so big. And that's why she has to work really hard to try to control it. And she has to practice and do all that stuff. So that scene was really cool. I loved that scene where she kind of took them all out. Everyone else helped her as well. Dorian is really interesting because he is starting to get control of his power as well, and I love that. So I love seeing him kind of be able to hone his power that he has in him as well. I'm loving seeing that. Manon is with them now too. I don't think she was with them. No, she wasn't with them when I last updated you. So Manon got attacked by her grandmother. She basically, she tried to attack her grandmother, and her grandmother, they got into that big fight. So she got hurt pretty bad, Manon did. and had to flee from everything. Her 13 got away, she got away on Abraxas, and Abraxas was able to actually find Aylin's ship, the ship that they were on, and take Manon to them so they could help her. So that was really cool. I don't know why that instinct kicked in for him. But he got her to their ship. They took her in and healed her, basically. But they kind of kept her prisoner because they don't really trust her yet. Doran's the only one who trusts her. But now they're kind of finding a little bit of a footing together where I think they might start trusting each other a little bit more, like Manon and Aylin and stuff. They're not friendly, but they're starting to kind of maybe grow a little bit of an alliance there, which I really like. And Dorian and Manon, like, something's happening there too. I love it. So that's happening. Manon is with them. And then who else are we following? Alid and Lorcan have had to flee for their lives because the Ilkin are after Alid, and she's pretty much in danger. So Lorcan's trying to help her. And then they discover that they are both looking for Aylin, and kind of, like, they're both trying to find her for different reasons and stuff. And so they find her together. It's another thing that kind of already has started happening. They've discovered they have feelings for each other and they've acted on them a little bit. So, like, a bond is really happening with those two. So there's, like, multiple love stories happening in this book, which is really cool. So now I'm just kind of waiting for all that to start happening. Some of it has already happened a little bit, but yeah. So where am I right now? Alid and Lorcan have found Aylin. They were approaching and, like, kind of finding them as the Ilkin came in to attack them. So they witnessed that whole thing. And so they are now with Aylin and the crew and stuff. So that's where I've left off. I'm loving this book so much. Like, just so much is happening. This is a really, really action-packed book. And yeah, so I am hoping to finish this between tonight and tomorrow is what my goal is. I've taken out my Mermaid Tales. Lindsay has already finished it. She left me in the dust. Totally fine. She's finished it already. So I'm trying. But I only have about 130 pages left, so that's not too bad. And can you hear him? He is snoring next to me. It's my dog. Yeah, so I think between, like, tonight and tomorrow, I think I can finish this for sure. I just had a cup of coffee. It is 9:45. I had it probably like an hour and a half ago or so. But I was definitely starting to yawn and get a little tired, and I wanted to kind of perk myself up a little bit so I can, like, really knock out a big chunk of this tonight. I have been reading throughout the day, but not as much as I want to. So I really want to be able to knock out a decent sized chunk. So I had a cup of coffee, definitely helped. I'm kind of getting settled in here. My girls are in bed and it's quiet. So I'm going to spend the rest of tonight reading. And yeah, so I'm very excited. I'm very excited to get back to it and just, like, knock out a big chunk because things are happening, and I have a feeling like the rest of this book is just going to be like go, 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 go. This sleepyhead is going to sit here and sleep while I read. Got a candle going. Got a beach ASMR on the YouTubes. I like to put these on when I'm sitting here sometimes because reading at the beach is one of my favorite things. I love the sounds of the water and it's just so relaxing. So I put this on and I'm gonna listen to this and read. Okay guys, so someone just showed up and it is someone from the Assassin's Blade and her name is Ansel. She was in the Assassin's Blade in The Assassin and the Desert, where it was like an assassin kind of training program, I guess you could say, that Selena had gone to, and they were roommates there, and Ansel ended up betraying her and everyone around because she went there with a hidden agenda and put everybody in danger, and then Selena stopped her and spared her life, basically. So Yeah, when she showed up, she just showed up on in like the marsh area where they are. And I remember earlier in the book, she said she was going to be calling in some favors from old friends. And that made me think, I wonder if people from the Assassin's Blade are going to show up here. And that's what's happening so far, because Rolf was there and he was in Assassin's Blade, and now Ansel is here too. And Ansel, I pictured in my head as Emma Stone, because she is described as having like shoulder length red hair. So that is who I picture as Ansel. And yeah, so she is going to team up and align with Aelin. And basically, Aelin called in a, what do they call it? A life debt or something, like I saved your life, you owe me now. And they can cash that in at any time. So she's cashing that in right now. And Ansel has brought her armies with her that she is the queen over. And she's going to align with Aelin and Terrasen to help them fight. So now there's some armies happening, and she's starting to build some alliances that is going to help give them manpower, basically. So that's what's happening right now. So yeah, that was a nice little surprise to see her. That's exciting, kind of to see like some full character stories coming through, like full circle stuff, because, you know, they're characters that we met in novellas and now they're coming back and playing a role here. So that's kind of cool to see it kind of, you know, tie together like that. So yep, that's awesome. Dorian and Manon just got it on. Hey guys, okay, it's the next morning, and I did read a fairly decent chunk of this book last night, and then I read some earlier today as well. I'm actually currently reading. I have about 39 pages left in this book. Okay, so what has happened? Okay, Dorian and Manon, good stuff. Now, Maeve's battle, like ships or whatever, have found them, and they are under attack right now. So they are battling Maeve and battling her Fae warriors and all that. Aelin and Manon end up, so they find this chest in the marshes. They found it, and they think that it's connected to the word keys, and they think that it's connected to all this stuff somehow, but they don't know how. So they have taken it and, like, you know, they're holding it somewhere so that they can kind of try to figure this out. And they realize that it does have something to do with Aelin, and it has something to do with Manon as well, because there's a symbol in there that they both have a connection to. So a lot of things are kind of hinting that it's a good thing that all these people who are connected to this one thing and have all this power are together in one place at one time. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, you know what I mean? And Dorian figures out that this thing that they found is a mirror, and he believes this mirror is something that can show them past, present, or future, and it will show them either memories or things that are happening right now or things that are predicted to happen in the future. So he convinces Aelin and Manon to go into this mirror together to see what they can find out. And they go into this mirror and they see some things that happened in the past, basically how all this started, how Erewhon got trapped, because he is definitely a dark person and is wanting to take over the world as, you know, a dark lord and all that stuff. So it shows how he got trapped, why he got trapped. Elena and Brannon and Gavin are all involved, and so they're seeing what happened back then. They are realizing and seeing why Aelin has the power that she has and why she is was saved as a child. Wow. So they're seeing all of that happen. I'm not quite sure still how Manon is super connected to all this. I think it's one of her ancestors maybe was part of it as well. That part's a little bit murky for me still, but I'm sure it'll unfold. But yeah, so that's where I am right now, and I'm gonna keep on going. Oh no, the Manon's 13 have shown up. Like, there's this huge, Aelin and Manon are in this mirror, so they have no idea what's going on the outside. And, there's fighting going on and everything. And then all of a sudden they hear these cries in the sky and they have no idea what it is. And then I think, was it Lysandra, realized they're wyverns. And Manon's 13 or 12 come out and Abraxas is leading them. And Astrid is there. And it's so good. I was so happy. So they knew which side to be fighting on, and they were fighting with our group. So that was awesome. That made me, I cheered out loud. I was so happy when that happened. So, okay, I'm going to finish this up and I will let you know my final thoughts when I'm done. Okay, guys, I just finished this book. And I'm going to say it. I think this is my favorite of the series so far. I still have 2 more books to go, but I think this is my favorite so far. Oh my gosh. Okay. Where to start? Where did we leave off? Where did I say we left off? Battles. Battles are happening. Okay, battles are happening. Maeve figures out that Aelin's on the beach. Aelin and Manon came back from the mirror and they got kind of dropped on the beach, I guess you could say. So not in the middle of the battles on the ships or anything, but on the shore. Maeve figures that out and makes her way over there. So she basically has a lead prisoner trying to get Aelin to, surrender or whatever. And so Aelin and Maeve start having a little bit of a skirmish. They start battling a little bit. Now Maeve has blood bonds with the Fae men that are there and who are working with Aelin. She has blood bonds with them, so if she gives them a command, they have to obey it. Physically, they have to. Their bodies respond that way, so they don't have any control over the bodies if she gives them the command because of the blood oath. So that was interesting because she basically got them to take people prisoner and stuff, and they didn't have a choice even though they didn't want to do it, and that was awful. And Maeve wants the keys, basically. So there's 3 different keys that are supposed to, unlock something, and that something gives you all the power. So she knows that Aelin has 2 of them. And I think she knows where the 3rd one is. So that's what she's there for, to get the keys from Aelin. But Aelin makes her work for it, right? She ends up overpowering Aelin, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. And she, has her attacked pretty brutally by one of her little lackeys, who's pretty much a sadist. And he whips her. That was really hard to read, because just knowing what Aelin has already been through, that was hard. And takes her prisoner. So Aelin is now a prisoner of Maeve's. Maeve believes that she has Aelin and the word keys and all that. What she doesn't know is that Aelin slipped the keys into Manon's pocket when she passed her to go and try to battle. Yeah, so she doesn't have the keys. Manon has them. Very, very sneaky, that Aelin. And, okay, so what had happened was Maeve left with Aelin, thinking she's my prisoner, blah, blah, blah. I have conquered this. Awesome. One step closer, right? Rowan and Adian and Lysandra and everybody comes up onto the beach because they were, trying to get to them. And the witches and everyone comes on, and Aelin's already gone. So they're all freaking out. They don't know where she is. Manon tells them what happened. Like everyone who was there tells them what happened. And they're all kind of freaking out. And then it comes out that Aelin expected this to happen. Like, she knew this was going to happen, and she planned for it. So what Aelin did, without anyone knowing, which is something I have an issue with, but that's fine, was that her and Lysandra kind of built a plan around this. Aelin basically said, I'm going to be taken. I'm prepared for this. I'm prepared to sacrifice my life for this. Now, people cannot know that I'm not here, basically, or Terrasen will fall. And so she planned to have Lysandra, who is a shapeshifter, shift into Aelin and be Aelin. as much as she can. You know, Lysandra, when she shifts, she can only be that way so long, you know, because her power does run out. But so she is going to shift into Aelin and be Aelin as much as she can and kind of play that part. So that's kind of interesting. Adian is not a fan of this. He's pretty pissed at her right now. I don't blame him. And what else is happening? Aelin started calling in all her favors for people from the Assassin's Blade. So the Silent Assassins showed up with a fleet of people. You know, Ansel from the desert showed up and with a fleet of people, and Galen showed up with a fleet of people. Like, people who owe her have shown up with their own armies. So they now have armies that are ready to fight for her and ready to fight for Terrasen. But they all showed up too late. Like, she's already gone, even though she expected that to happen. But I was like, oh man, it was like 10 minutes too late. So Rowan is kind of left there going, I have my armies, but I don't have my woman. I don't like this. So they've kind of started to split off a little bit. The witches are going to try to find the Cochrane clan to see if, you know, to rally them and to fight with them. Dorian went with them, and just everyone's kind of going off in their own little directions to gather more armies and to gather more people and to get ready to fight for Terrasen and to bring Aelin back. So she's not expecting them to come for her, but they're going to come for her. Rowan's not going to stop till he finds her. So that was really good. And Rowan and Aelin got married on the down low. Nobody knew that they got married. Actually, Lysandra and Adian knew because they were like the witnesses and stuff, but they were sworn to secrecy. And the reason that Aelin did that is because she knew that she was going to be taken, and she wanted Terrasen to have a king. She didn't want to leave Terrasen without a leader, and it's going to be him. So good. Oh, it was so good, you guys. So much happened in this book. Like, it's insane how much happened. And now I really want to read Tower of Dawn, because Tower of Dawn is the same timeline as Empire Storms, but you follow what Chaol is doing in the south, because Chaol went down south to get healed because his body was, you know, pretty ravaged by the king of Adarlan before he was killed. Like, he was paralyzed. So he went down south to get healed, hopefully. So it's going to follow what happens to him down there. So good, you guys. So good. I think this is my favorite of the series so far. Total 5 stars. Easy. So that is Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas, book number 5. I'm not gonna be able to wait too long before I go on to book number 6. I'm telling you. I do need to read some other things first, but I want to go on so bad right now. But so I have a feeling I'm going to pick it up sooner rather than later. All right, so that is going to be it for me today. If you guys have read this series, let me know. Well, if you read it, I hope you're not watching if you haven't read it, because I'm spoiling everything for you. But let me know what your thoughts are on this book in particular. If you liked this one in the series or what you thought. Just, there was so much, and I loved the relationships that were formed in here and some of the relationships that were kind of broken apart. Like Lorcan and the lead are on the outs right now. She is not happy with him. Don't blame her. And, you know, Adian and Lysandra he's not talking to her right now. Kind of don't blame him. The only thing that really kind of drove me nuts about Aelin in this book is that she did a lot of things behind everybody's backs. And I really wish she would have at least trusted Rowan, you know, to tell him what her plans are and all that. I know why she kept it from him, because he would have tried to talk her out of it. But you know what I mean? Like, tell people what you're doing. So, I don't know. That's the only thing that kind of drives me nuts. But, all right. That's it for my thoughts on this one. Loved it so much. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you guys again soon. Have a great day. Bye.